Days before the season even begins, one brutal truth is already echoing through the paddock. Aston Martin may arrive in Melbourne just to survive, not to compete. After a disastrous Bahrain test, disrupted by regional conflict and compounded by a crippling Honda power unit failure, the team's 2026 campaign is hanging by a thread. Vibrations from the V6 combustion engine are reportedly damaging the hybrid battery system housed inside the chassis, a flaw so fundamental it leaves engineers chasing ghosts instead of lap time. Behind closed garage doors, mechanics are scrambling, data is scarce, confidence is scarcer. The whispers? Aston Martin even explored invoking force majeure to skip Australia altogether. That tells you everything. And if they do run, insiders fear they may only aim to clear the 107% rule, then park the car. Fans expected a title charge under new leadership. Instead, they're watching a team on the brink. If you're still here, tell me in the comments, is this just early chaos or the beginning of a season-long disaster? And subscribe, because what's unfolding could redefine 2026 before the first checkered flag even falls. Because this isn't just a bad test, it's a warning shot. The problem isn't minor, it isn't cosmetic, it's structural. Deep inside the Honda power unit, violent vibrations from the combustion side are reportedly tearing through the hybrid system's battery, a component embedded within the chassis itself. This isn't a quick swap in the garage, it's architectural surgery at the worst possible moment. During testing in Bahrain, Aston Martin spent more time behind the curtain than on track. Every lap cut short meant lost correlation data, and in a brand new regulation cycle, data is oxygen. Without it, development stalls. Meanwhile, rivals running Mercedes and Ferrari units completed full programs, gathering thousands of kilometers of priceless information. Martin Brundle called it a snowball effect. He's right, because when one failure prevents mileage, it doesn't just cost performance, it multiplies uncertainty. And here's the uncomfortable question. How did Honda get this so wrong under fresh 2026 regulations? If you're enjoying this deep dive, drop your take below. Is this Honda's miscalculation or Aston's integration failure? The tension is only building, because what happens next could define not just Melbourne, but the entire trajectory of this partnership. What would hurt more than missing the season opener? Showing up only to quit. Inside the paddock, the most explosive rumor isn't about lap time, it's about intent. Aston Martin reportedly considered invoking force majeure to skip Australian Grand Prix altogether, but contractual reality intervened. The Concord Agreement doesn't reward absence. Fines, compensation, reputational damage, the cost of not appearing would be catastrophic. So now comes the darker possibility. Sources suggest the team may aim only to satisfy the 107% qualifying threshold, start the race, complete a handful of laps, and retire. A symbolic participation, a legal presence, a competitive surrender. For fans who were promised a 2026 title push, that feels like betrayal. Social media has already erupted, branding the situation pathetic. And honestly, for a project backed by billionaire investment and elite engineering hires, optics matter. If they roll onto the grid knowing they can't fight, is that professionalism or quiet admission of failure? Let me know in the comments, because the political fallout of this decision may hit even harder than the mechanical one. Then came a voice from Formula One's past, and it cut deeper than any fan reaction. Bernie Ecclestone didn't shout, he didn't mock, he simply delivered a cold reminder: a world title cannot be bought. Speaking to Swiss media, the former F1 power broker admitted he feels sorry for Lawrence Stroll, and that word sorry carries weight, because Stroll didn't hesitate to spend a new state-of-the-art factory, aggressive recruitment, and most symbolically, the capture of Adrian Newey, a move designed to signal domination in the new era. On paper, it looked like a master plan, but Ecclestone pointed to Ferrari's two-decade title drought as proof that money alone solves nothing. Even giants miss one critical piece of the puzzle. So here's the uncomfortable parallel. Is Aston Martin discovering that infrastructure without harmony is just expensive chaos? At this point in the story, thank you for staying with me. If this analysis is giving you clarity beyond the headlines, subscribe, because what's unfolding isn't random, it's systemic, and the system may be cracking under pressure. While rivals were stacking mileage in Bahrain, Aston Martin was stacking uncertainty, and in a regulation reset year, that may be fatal. Mercedes-powered teams logged thousands of kilometers. Ferrari had 3 cars feeding its development pipeline. Even Audi, running solo, gathered structured data. Honda? Only Aston Martin. And when your only partner barely runs, the feedback loop collapses. Martin Brundle warned that without track time, engineers are blind. Simulation models drift, correlation breaks, upgrades become guesses instead of progress. It's not just that the car is unreliable, it's that the team doesn't even know what it truly has. This is how seasons spiral. 1 missed test becomes 2 compromised races, 2 races become a lost development window, and in a cost-capped era, every misstep burns resources you can't reclaim. So ask yourself, can they recover once China arrives, or is this snowball already too large? Because the next chapter isn't about embarrassment, it's about survival. Lawrence Stroll didn't build a racing team, he built an empire, a cutting-edge factory, elite recruitment, state-of-the-art wind tunnel, and at the center of it all, Adrian Newey, the architect of dynasties. But glass palaces amplify cracks. When performance falters this early, pressure doesn't stay contained in the engine bay, it moves upstairs. Engineers question timelines, Honda questions integration, management questions risk decisions made months ago. And with Fernando Alonso nearing the twilight of his career, patience is a luxury no one truly has. This was supposed to be the reset year, the regulation opportunity. Instead, Aston Martin may begin 2026 firefighting a crisis of confidence. Projects like this don't collapse loudly, they erode quietly. 1 delayed fix, 1 compromised weekend, 1 internal disagreement. And here's the strategic tension. Does Newey already see the solution, or did he inherit a structural flaw too deep to mask? Because if Melbourne exposes weakness, China could expose something worse: doubt. Just months ago, the narrative was bold. 2026 would be Aston Martin's launch into championship contention. New regulations, fresh Honda partnership, Newey's influence embedded from the ground up. Fernando Alonso hunting one last miracle. Now, the objective may be far more basic: finish races. When a team begins a season calculating how to limit embarrassment instead of maximize performance, psychology shifts. Mechanics stop talking about podium windows, they talk about component survival. Strategy meetings stop projecting gains, they plan contingencies. And fans feel it. The backlash online isn't just anger, it's broken expectation. Full focus on 2026, they were told, throughout 2025, and yet here they are, fighting reliability before turn 1 of the opener. Let me ask you something critical. If they withdraw early in Melbourne, does that protect long-term development or permanently damage credibility? Drop your view below, because perception in Formula One can be as powerful as lap time, and right now, perception is brutal. Melbourne is no longer just a season opener, it's a verdict. If Aston Martin lines up only to satisfy regulations and quietly retire, the message to the paddock will be unmistakable. This project isn't ready. And in Formula One, weakness invites pressure. Sponsors question timelines, rivals accelerate development, internal morale fractures. But there's another possibility: a controlled appearance, limited mileage, damage containment while Honda works around the clock before China. Survival now, reset later. The danger is that 2026 isn't a slow burn season. With new regulations, early gains compound fast. If they fall behind now, recovery won't be linear. It will be uphill, expensive, and politically tense. So here's the defining question: is Melbourne the beginning of a comeback narrative or the first chapter of a failed revolution? Tell me honestly, do you believe Aston Martin can turn this around before it spirals? Because when the lights go out in Australia, it won't just start a race, it will expose a reality.